I'm sorry, but we have to talk about Hearthsteel. How they sabotaged player housing. I've already talked a lot about this. A lot of you guys have already watched my opinion on this a couple times now. I'm interested to get more into it. It goes deeper than we think. That's right, the well goes deeper than we think. Obviously, creating a side currency or a currency that is not, money-based, it's very clear what they're doing. It's, it's some fuckery going on where they don't want you to realize how much you're spending. Ian's commented on this. A few other people have commented on it. Let's see what Taliesin and Evitel have to say about how Hearthsteel is sabotaging player housing. Here we go.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and welcome to another episode of the weekly reset, Taliesin and Evitel's wondrous wisdom show, in a week where, I'm sorry, I have to talk about Hearthsteel. I don't like it any more than you do, but it's my job, and I have to do it. So while I go prepare myself by downing a whole bottle of something, please enjoy Evitel with this news rundown.
Welcome to Evie's News Rundown. Let's run down. The beta goes live this week, which means anyone who had pre-purchased the Epic Edition of Midnight will now get to play Midnight.
I wonder what the Epic Edition sales are. I do, because I feel like there were a lot of people playing beta yesterday. A lot. I mean, I was one of them, and I feel like the servers could barely contain the people. Man, Blizzard must be making a shit ton of money off of selling this early access beta shit. And look at me, I'm one of the people who bought it.
Test.
I bought it yesterday.
All the testing
I'm
and
sure a lot of
recording
people
and
did.
the feedback and stuff. You get to do that. So you get to test player housing. Test it for hours every day. I do. Test how awesome and cozy you can make your house. Test the new skybox rooms and test that the new player housing music works by listening to it as you do player housing into the early hours of the morning. Test doing awesome stuff like Marvel's literal cave network.
I will say the music is absolutely freaking glorious. Absolutely glorious. The music is, it's WoW music. It's just peak, really is. And player housing, I'm going to get more into it in December. We already know now, December 2nd confirmed, the patch 11.2.7, final patch of The War Within is dropping, and player housing early access will be available to everyone who had this beta access through the Epic Edition.
Or Brown Mars Troll Exterior. Just test it. Make sure it works is what I'm saying. You can test...
Wait a minute, this guy made a troll exterior? Oh my god, that's right, because you can build on the outside of your house whatever you want. Oh, wow. This is crazy. Really well done.
Troll exterior.
So under that is a regular
test
house.
It. Make sure it works is what I'm saying. You can test Silvermoon and all the zone stories. You can test the new dungeons and delves and prey system. You can test all the new class changes, but that won't take so long because seriously, how long can it possibly take to test 3 whole buttons per spec? Test Midnight so much that you are well and truly sick of Midnight by the time it comes out. Congrats! You now know what it's like to be a content creator. I'm only joking. The alpha beta cycle has never managed to make me any less hyped for a new expansion. Always quite the opposite, in fact. Oh, maybe you'll also be able to test the new damage meters too. Currently on the alpha, they are not functional, but you can see them and new options get added all the time. Most recently, the ability to track interrupts and dispels. So still not details level stuff, but getting.
Did anyone test the damage meters in beta? Is it available yet? I didn't see it yesterday. I don't know if I had to enable it to test it, but I was playing through beta yesterday. I didn't see any damage meters.
There. Like we all know, the most important feature Blizz needs to include in its damage meters is the ability to change how your character name appears on the damage meters. Like if I can't appear as I like big crits and I cannot lie, then Blizz really have dropped the ball on the whole add-on thing. On that subject, actually.
I don't know if Blizzard's going to allow that because Degen's gonna degen, and Blizzard would be responsible for allowing racist names in that. People are gonna do it, and I don't think Blizzard wants to have to create a naming filtering system for a damage meter, so they're probably just gonna always keep it as your character players.
Blizz have told add-on makers that when Midnight goes live, add-ons that...
She literally just said it, that it's broken. Well, she said it's visible but not testable in alpha. This video came out before beta did, so she didn't say that it's testable in beta. She was saying it should be testable in beta. It's going to be. Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it yesterday. I played beta. I didn't see it. That's what I'm asking.
Haven't been updated specifically for Midnight will not be able to load at all.
You can see it, but you can't test it because it's broken.
You won't get the usual day one pop-up asking if you want to load out-of-date add-ons, because there will be no out-of-date add-ons on day one of midnight, and by day one, I'm assuming that means day one of pre-patch.
Yeah.
This makes sense with the amount of changes to how some add-ons work with the game, and it actually feels pretty good to know that I'm not going to have to go through and figure out which add-ons work myself. That's
True.
what I'm telling myself anyway, to hide the fact that it's also terrifying to think about what add-ons might not exist anymore. Mount
I'm
news.
fine with it.
And Wowhead have data mined loads of cute new rides in the final alpha build, like Anushala, a purple firebird who is the reward for the new insurmountable achievement for obtaining
600 mounts.
600 mounts. Wowhead can't tell us if druids can use this mount as their flight form, like they could the fiery Emerald Dream OG. I suspect probably not, but stop complaining. You got your 600 mount. Other mounts we can now see are this ugly piece of shit for the Midnight Delve Glory Achieve. And yeah, I'm sorry, it is ugly, even if I do respect its feather riz. There's another.
It's ugly, but it does fit like the delving aesthetic. Like it does look like some moly underground thing. I know it's a Pangola or whatever the hell they're called. You know, the roll-up pulley boys, but I think it's a cool one for the Gregs of
There
Akali.
Pango available from Zulaman Rares, the Vibrant Petalwing from Herondar Rares, the Rootstalker Grimlinks also from Herondar Rares, and the Augmented Stingray from Voidstorm Rare.
I will say one thing about Midnight, it kind of does go down as one of the ugliest mounts patch I've ever, like expansion I've ever seen. There is a lot of ugly mounts coming out. There's some really cool ones, but man, there's a lot of freaking hideous looking mounts coming out in this expansion.
As always, we are linking all this stuff and
I think
more
it's the
in
horror
Wowhead
near.
articles
It's a lot of ugly
in the
shit.
description, so you can peruse these mounts at your leisure, as well as the Hexeagle mount from Zulaman Treasures, this cool bear from we don't know what, but I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say Zulaman. Oh, and a sneak peek at a chapter of the new Christie Golden midnight novel, Blood Ties. I would join you in reading that snippet, but I just got the full review copy through, so, yeah, I'm gonna leave you with your tally rant while I crack on.
And so, to the big controversy of the week, that of the new real money housing decor currency Hearthsteel, and actually the other problem, which is way bigger than Hearthsteel. But I do want to preface this entire segment by saying, I think
A bigger
Midnight
problem.
looks really good. I am legitimately hopeful and excited about it, and player housing in particular, which I think is an exquisite feature, at least the equal of player housing in any other current MMO, in my opinion, and honestly, probably better.
I haven't played through the housing stuff on beta. I probably won't. I'm just going to wait till it comes out in December. So it's cool and fresh, and I'm seeing it for the first time. But I did say that I played through the Harnier stuff, and I told you guys this already. I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Good start to the expansion. Hopefully everything else is as well done and well told in terms of story as that was.
This video has taken ages to write because every time I spend time thinking about player housing for this script, that makes me want to go and play player housing, and I keep f***ing off my script to log into the alpha and dick around in there for an hour because it just feels so good to be in a little room with the new lovely music and that thump, thump sound of placing stuff in the space. Don't laugh, you know the one I mean.
Man, you can do so much because of the clipping.
The team that worked on this feature are awesome, honest people who care very much about what they are making. And so, yeah, I am pissed off.
Look, can I say something very cynical? I've been saying it for a long time, that the fact that player housing is such a well done, well thought out, fully fleshed out feature for this game, I already knew that it was going to be monetized out the fucking dick. I already knew it. I said it. I was like, this took a lot of time. Like, it's very obvious Blizzard put a massive team on this to get this done properly and to really make it perfect. And the fact that they put all this time in means that they had come up with some C-suite plan to monetize it. I've been talking about it for a long. I'm like, this is going to be a big WoW store play. Now, did I expect a secondary currency? I didn't know they were going to go that far. I just thought like a ton of housing items are going to be on the WoW store, and this is going to be like big packs, massive packs, monthly packs of furniture and all this shit showing up on the WoW store. They took it a step further and even added a currency on top of that.
That they have to deal
but
with.
I knew this was going to be
overshadowing
monetized
their
like a
cool
big
stuff
deal
this week. But it is what it is, and it is Hearthsteel. So this first popped up on Wowhead Data Mining a week and a half ago as being a new currency for buying
like I said,
player
time travel.
housing
That's right.
decor. And instantly, alarm bells started ringing because, I mean, just the look of these icons for the currency was very, I don't want to say free-to-play mobile game dog shit, but I mean... Now, obviously...
Yeah, when you see like the single one, the little pile, the bigger pile, then the big sacks of it, yeah, you know this is this does feel like some kind of mobile game bullshit.
Was much speculation about this online, and obviously much of that speculation tended towards the worst case scenario, which
in the end, it doesn't matter. It's still not pay to play. Look, I don't disagree. Like, I never cared for the WoW store, so I really don't participate in the WoW store. I really don't buy things off of it. I don't fault anybody who does, but it doesn't bother me because I'm not spending money on it. Whatever. As long as my $15 sub keeps going through and I can still play the game, that's fine. The one thing that the WoW store has hurt me on is that the coolest mounts in the game are made for the WoW store. That's the one sad thing. I feel like we've lost some creativity in the game because of the store monetization and stuff like that. Whereas before, if the devs put a lot of time in and created a really cool mount, it was available in the game. That's not really the case anymore. The trading post has helped that a little bit. We've gotten some things showing up on the trading post that used to be only store items. That's fine. I'm happy they do that. And I know you can purchase store items by making gold and converting over WoW tokens to BNet balance and stuff like that. But I kind of just wish it was all in the game still. The store kind of took that away. This, okay, furniture and shit. I'm not going to do it. I'm telling you right now, I will never buy this currency. I will never care enough to buy this currency. I'm saying that and then watch them create like a giant blow-up plush doll of Arthas, and I'm going to have to buy it. But besides that, I will never participate in this. So it doesn't bother me. It's just kind of the thought process they went into to make this that does bother me. Like, oh, man, this is some bullshit, really. They're going to do this now? Okay, fine, whatever.
Is, of course, that Hearthsteel
Corporate
was
America.
a new store currency to basically replace Battle.net balance and would be the way that you now buy stuff on the in-game cash shop
The Moonguard sex water
straight
bet.
cash. And
I'll have to buy
those
that.
icons, in my opinion, definitely did suggest that that could be the case. And so it was on Thursday night when Blizzard released a blue post finally clarifying what this was all about. And good news, it wasn't quite the worst case scenario. Hearthsteel is a new virtual currency for World of Warcraft being added in the Midnight expansion. It's purchased with real money using your Battle.net balance and used in turn to buy housing items from the Battle.net shop and in-game shop.
So we talked about this. So this does mean technically that you can use gold to buy this stuff, right? You can use gold to buy the WoW token, to convert it to BNet balance, then convert it to Hearthsteel. So technically it is purchasable via gold. It's just like a roundabout way of doing it, and it's that roundaboutness that makes you look at Blizzard like, oh, come on, this is greasy, this is dirty. You're making me convert my real-life currency into some other currency, so it's not as obvious as in terms of what I'm buying or how much I'm spending. It's a bit of a dirty game. There's a reason why all the other free-to-play games do this. It gets you to spend more. That's what it does. The big gold boy, though, was the best purchase I ever made in WoW. You talking about the original long boy? Yeah, people don't care about spending gold. They will grind their life away and degenerate every part of it. They'll lose every relationship. They'll abandon their children and everything to make gold in the game to buy a cool mount. WoW players don't care about that. They care about real life money and spending it on the store. That's what they care about.
Well, let's do this
That's what
properly and
upsets
go
them,
through
at least,
all
a
the
lot of
main
times.
points before we get too heated, okay? I'm sure it's fine. The vast majority of housing items are, and will continue to be, earnable in-game. Okay, well, you know, this I do actually believe. It's very easy to see how decor on the shop is going to be comparable to mounts and transmog on the shop, in that, yeah, the stuff in-game is by far the most plentiful, and the shop items are very much occasional extras. And yeah, okay, so the amount of mounts and transmog appearing on the store has increased greatly in the last year or so, to the
Yeah.
extent that I, a professional World of Warcraft YouTuber, totally lost track of the shop releases because there were just so many of them. Seriously, there's like a new bundle every month or some shit. So perhaps
There's a lot.
occasional isn't really the correct term to use anymore. Perhaps the correct term would be very plentiful. But
It used to be like a big announcement every time a mount hit the WoW store, like a big deal, like because it was only happening once every couple months. But yeah, now it's like, oh, there's a new mount on the store, I just like you just suddenly see it there because it's so often.
In principle, sure, I buy this line. This is a good start. This is definitely going to be fine. Housing items tied to core fantasies of a player's race or class, or that already exist in Azeroth, won't be sold in the shop. Thematically important decor that players know and love will also not appear in the shop. I will, frankly, believe this one when I see it.
Yeah.
It does kind of track with the way transmog amounts are presented on the store. Those items don't usually fit within the theme of the current expansion or patch or even game world as much as they exist in their own store cinematic universe in a sense, and I think that's the right way of doing it, but I think it's a pretty vague line with decor. We know, for example, that these beautiful blossom trees will be on the store next year, part of a spring-themed bundle. But I don't know, man. If I'm a Pandaren, or a monk in general, or even just a player that knows and loves the cherry blossom trees from Pandaria, I might argue that actually this is something very much tied to my core race or class fantasy, and it is very much on the store. But okay, the principle of what they're saying here is good. I'm skeptical, but I just about buy it. All housing items in the shop will be available for individual purchase. While we'll sometimes offer sales on bundles of items for a limited time, you shouldn't feel like you have to spend money now or risk missing something you want. Good. Blizz working hard here to downplay some of the more distasteful aspects of the store, and a reassurance that items won't be available purely in bundles with other stuff that you might not want, but individually. This is fine. See, I told you this was going to be fine. Costs in the shop are clearly defined. The ratios of Hearthsteel to real money are fixed and easily understood at a glance.
So then why? Then why do it? If it's really like a easy to understand ratio, why do it? We know why they did it. Come on. We're not stupid. Is he wearing a brooch? Yeah, he's wearing a Zalateth pin.
You should be able to obtain an amount that makes sense for the purchases you
think we're
want
stupid.
to make. This is me pressing X for doubt. Liz here are basically saying, oh yeah, the main reason games companies like to use a store currency instead of straight up cash sales, as in, for example, I want to buy a bundle which costs like 900 Hearthsteel, but the closest bundle I can purchase is 1000 Hearthsteel, so I'm going to be left with 100 Hearthsteel, which is completely useless and represents wasted money in my brain, which can only be rectified by buying more Hearthsteel to bump it up to a level where I can buy more stuff with it, even though I initially...
We've all done this. We all know how this works. We know this system gets you to buy more shit. That's what it does. I mean, because this could be psychoanalyzed by a psychiatrist, and they'll tell you the same thing. A virtual currency is easier to spend than real life money, and if you create odd ends where more is left in your pocket at the end, you're gonna buy more shit. That's just how it works. It even happens in real life. You ever go to a store and they're like, "Oh yeah, purchase X amount of things, and we'll give you $100 gift card." And it's like for a really fancy store or something, and you realize nothing in the store is $100. Well, then you're going to use the gift card because you're like, well, I got to use the gift card, and you're going to spend an extra $50 to get up to the cheapest thing in the store, which is $150. It's like a tip. It's such a regular. It's a corrupt sales tactic that's been used for decades. The only difference is now it's used in these games.
Actually wasn't planning on buying anything else at all. That reason? Yeah, don't
Twitch
worry,
bits
fam.
are the same,
We're not going to do that. Trust me, though. To which I would respond, well, then why bother doing the currency at all, then? Basically, I don't believe them. But for the sake of argument, let's steelman this post and assume that they are telling the truth. This is...
Greg from accounting would never fall. Of course not. Greg from accounting is extremely calculated. He knows all these things. He knows these games. He would never. You're right. Greg from accounting would never fall for this bullshit.
It's good. If true, Hearthsteel should integrate...
His wife would, because she's a bitch, but that's besides the point.
Cleanly into the existing Battle.net economy. This means not just being able to purchase it in-game, on the web, or in the launcher, but it should also be compatible with the normal flow of the WoW token, letting you earn gold in-game and then use that gold to ultimately purchase Hearthsteel via the WoW token. This, sincerely, is a relief. A low-key, very good feature of WoW in comparison to other MMOs is the way that the WoW token interacts with the store. Before this economy-ruining bad boy was introduced, there were mounts in this game that could only be obtained through extra real-life money from the store. Since the WoW token was born, everything on the store is technically earnable in-game because you can buy any of it with in-game gold, albeit in a roundabout way. But still, the fact...
It is a feature that WoW has that I don't know if any other game has, where like you can legitimately grind the fuck out in the game and purchase any store item that's only available for real-life money thanks to the BNet token. So it does work.
That you will still be able to
Thanks to the WoW
purchase
token,
housing store items with pretend gold that you get for killing dragons in a video game, albeit in an even more roundabout way now. This is an important one, and yeah, I'm getting hopeful again. This is going to be fine. Hearthsteel is for housing. We currently have no plans to use it for the trading post, mounts, transmogs, or pets.
Currently. See, as an attorney, I read this, and the first thing that comes to mind is we gotta redact this and put never. we gotta redline this. Currently means they're leaving the door open, however slightly open. Maybe it's just their dick in the doorway holding it open, but they're holding it open, making sure you know they could change their mind at any moment and decide to make this currency more widespread.
I mean, yeah, sure, like, I currently have no plans to go for massive shit, but I'm pretty sure I will at some point in the very near future. Literally, no one believes this, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, so far, so good words from Blizz.
Slam the door
and good words on the forums, too, who pointed out that if you do want to take Blizz at their word, and the last 2 expansions have been so good that you might feel they've earned that to a degree, and fair enough, then there's genuinely not too much to be concerned with here. In fact, when I looked, it was basically post after post praising Blizz for their progressive and consumer-friendly approach to the new store-exclusive currency, with many players hailing Blizz as trailblazers in a new era of consumer-focused thinking that benefits all of us, and everybody clapped. No, it was a shit show, obviously. Disgusting. I'm gonna vomit. Clown company, eat my ass with this utter BS. And in case you think I'm mocking these responses, my own reaction was, this can right off into the sea. But for the sake of balanced reporting, it needs to be pointed out that although these were very common reactions,
you're right, Arcanimus,
there were an equally large amount of responses which were basically bemusement at all of this wrath. Don't know why people are surprised that Blizz is going to monetize housing decor. And for me, this touches on the most frustrating thing, but not the worst thing.
I said this early on. I was not surprised, but I'm not going to say that I was not surprised about Hearthsteel. I was. I was shocked that they were going to go to that level of monetization.
Don't worry, we'll get to the worst thing. This comment is right. No one should be surprised that Blizz are putting player housing on the store. Obviously, they're going to. They said they were going to from the very first player housing blue post. In the very first playtest of the feature, which I was lucky enough to be invited to Boston to take part in, I noticed that there was a button directly linking to the online store on the Decor Finder UI in-game, which I then brought up in the feedback session as feeling over-prominent, a little bit grimy, and they went and took it out in the next build. No one is surprised that Blizz are putting Decor on the store. In fact, everyone was like, weirdly cool with the idea. There has basically been no pushback on that idea at all. We are all frogs that have been successfully boiled in the microtransaction water over the years.
If this was the first microtransaction ever put into WoW, people would be losing their fucking minds. The thing is, we're used to it now, right? We've already gone through the shock and awe phase, so we've accepted the abuse at this point. Beatings will continue until morale, what's it called? Increases or whatever, or changes, or it gets better. There's that old adage. I can't fucking think of how it actually goes right now, but you get what I'm saying. We're used to this shit. Improved, is improved. Yes, beatings will continue until morale improves. So we know how these beatings go. I think everyone lost their minds when the additional currency came in. That's what fucking changed it.
Overall, as a community, we were unusually fine with the idea that the store would be part of this new feature. Blizz had won. They had invented an excuse to basically print money forever, but also completely avoided the shit show they might have expected. It's almost like they were disappointed that they hadn't upset their player base more. Right. It's almost like when the community was generally fine with Decor on the store, someone at Blizzard HQ was like, oh really, they're fine with it? Huh, that's a shame. What do we have to do to piss these guys off? Oh, how about a new store currency? Right. And mission successful, because Blizz have snatched failure out of the jaws of victory and managed to piss everyone off about Decor on the store. After all, with this grubby, grimy, shitty little currency, which if Blizz are to be taken at their blue post word, is completely pointless anyway, because they aren't going to be doing any of the exploit.
Could you imagine the heartless or disheartening work of the artist who had to make these? Could you imagine, like, as an artist, like, you probably take a lot of a pride in your work, right? I mean, it's like birthing a baby when you do some new art. And WoW artists, I will say, the art team, they're great. They've done some really good stuff. I mean, I love the WoW art style and everything, and I think they've done a very good job with a lot of things they put in the game. But imagine you get this assignment. Hey, man, probably got a bonus. Yeah, he probably did. Like, hey, man, we need you to make a currency. Make it look kind of housey related. Make it look like it's, I don't know, made of steel or something. I don't know. You just make us a currency that's going to be used for housing items on the real life WoW store. The WoW artist looks at him. What do you mean a currency for the store? Yeah, we're going to make a currency for the WoW store because we're going to try to peddle more money out of our players. And we need you to draw the fucking currency. It's like doing the devil's work. Imagine that guy going back to his desk, drawing out these coins. The coins look cool. That's fine. Unfortunate what they're being used for.
Predatory bullshit things that bullshit store currencies facilitate. Honestly, though, double pinky promise for
Bizarre
real,
says
though.
foot
It's
artist hides in the
if you were
shadows.
at a party and you shat your pants, and you were like, oh no, I shat my pants, but miraculously, no one notices. In fact, they're all just dancing and saying stuff like, this party is so great and smells awesome.
Man, he or she went home to their spouse that night, and they're like, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. The conflict, the internal conflict of drawing this thing out.
Awesome. And then, instead of just keeping your head down and not drawing attention to the fact that you just shat your pants, you punch the DJ, you take the mic, and you shout, I just shat my pants. It's running down my leg right now. That shit on the floor, that's mine. But don't worry, I promise it won't stain the carpet. That's kind of what it's like. Basically, it's cringe. This currency, these mobile game-looking icons, it's just all very cringe. It makes me just a little bit more embarrassed to be a WoW player. It makes me feel just a little bit more stupid that this is my hobby, you know?
Charbs, thank you for the sub, man.
Baldy.
What's up? 21 months. Thank you so much, Charbs. I appreciate that. Burning Viking said how much you want to bet those money bags and stuff we're using. That's definitely possible. I already know the prop that you could literally draw this coin and tell them, hey, make me a small stack, then a medium stack, then a larger stack, then put it in a sack and put it in a treasure box and put it in a steel case or something and make it all in the WoW style, the art style of WoW. Bam. That shit's done in 30 seconds. The only thing the artist had to draw was this initial coin. Totally think they used AI. Yeah, I agree, Burning. Why wouldn't you? Fuck, I would do it.
It makes it just a little bit less likely that I will recommend the game to others, because it's cringe. And you might be thinking, okay, sure, Tally, it is a bit grimy and stinky and cringe, and yeah, obviously, it would be better if there was no store currency. But it's not the biggest deal, is it? It doesn't damage player housing as a feature or WoW as a game, does it? And I mean, I don't entirely agree with you. I would argue that any decision which is so clearly made with exploiting, befuddling...
What it does is it puts a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth, right? It makes you... It stops you from really enjoying it to its fullest, I guess. Like, pretend like you were eating a wonderful, fluffy cotton candy, right? And you're going at it, and you're stuffing it in your mouth, you're having a good time, and then a fly. You end up with you take a piece you're about to eat, and you see a fly wrapped up in the cotton candy. Guess what? The rest of your cotton candy is still enjoyable. You're still gonna taste good. But from there on out, you're gonna look at every piece you take a little bit more. You analyze it a little bit, right? You're gonna like, oh, is that the only fly in here? The joy has been taken out of it. The cotton candy still tastes good. You're still gonna enjoy eating it. You're still gonna eat it. Probably, maybe some people throw it out at that point, maybe. But you're gonna be a little bit more skeptical now with every piece you take from that cotton candy. That joy level has now been taken down just a little bit of a notch. Even if you didn't eat the fly, you never end up eating a fly. You're just like, damn it, that one little fucking fly just threw me off, man. I gotta be a little careful. That's what this feels like.
Obfuscating a
little bit extra protein, yeah.
Milking your loyal player base, which currencies like these definitely are, is going to be bad for the long-term health of a game that only exists thanks to the long-term goodwill of its player base.
Pretty
But yeah,
much.
let's steelman this and say, yes, you're right. player housing still rocks. This weekend, I've been playing with the skybox room and making an entrance area with outside zones leading off from it, in which I build a whole other house for each of my alts. The idea being, of course, that my alts can have their own small, standalone
An apartment
home
complex
within my player home. And it's still in the proof of concept phase, but I think it looks really cool, and it's been extremely fun to experiment with, and I had an absolute blast wasting hours of my literal life on that, currency or no currency. But here's the thing. The shitty predatory currency is not the worst thing about what this blue post reveals.
Oh no.
Because in trying to explain to us why Hearthsteel, and by the way, that's a really shit name, but whatever, is so important for removing friction for decor store purchases, they let this slip. Smaller housing items in the shop are often low cost, and players will want to purchase multiples of them to complete a set. As an example, you may want a full set of chairs to place around a dining table, multiple place settings for your invited guests, or even many candles to help decorate the room for a complete look. Using an in-game currency can help make the process of obtaining many of these types of inexpensive items more efficient. Okay, so to be clear, when you buy decor on the store, you buy the one individual item. When you buy a cool, unique chair, you buy one chair.
Yes.
Or one table.
Yes.
Or one cushion. So if you want 2 of those cushions on your sofa, you need to buy 2 of them.
It's in the game like this too. Maybe Tally had missed this. I saw this long ago in the game, and I talked about this, that if you want to buy from the vendor in the game, you want 4 of the chairs, you got to buy 4 of the chairs. You got to spend the gold 4 times over to purchase the item. And I noticed it the first time. If you guys remember, we were watching a video, and I saw somebody playing through player housing in alpha, and it had a number next to the item they were using. And I was like, oh, they have a limit. They have like a finite limit of how many of these chairs they can put down, right? Because it's and I was like, oh, so they had to purchase 4 of these to get it in. He talked about it months ago. Maybe he did, but maybe he was shocked by the store items working the same way. But I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. And Blizzard tried to use this as an excuse for the reason why they created this currency, because they were saying, well, you know, there's transactional costs. If you use your credit card on a $1 chair, there's really nothing left for us. And my whole response to that was like, okay, then don't fucking put a $1 chair on the store. Or, just keep the cheaper items in the game, right? Just don't fucking do that. If you're going to put chairs on the store, make it a pack of 4 or something. I don't know, or bundle it with other things. Don't put $1 items on the store. There's no reason for that. Well, instead of doing that, Blizzard said, well, we got to create a virtual currency so that way you can't spend $1. You actually got to spend $10, and then you can get the $1 item with the virtual currency. That way we still make money. Now, why did I get that accent out? I have no idea. But what I do know is that's such a roundabout fuckery way, C-suite way of explaining this shit. Like they really sat at a table eating filet mignon in the fucking executive suite, and somebody came up with this idea, and they all fucking clapped it up and jerked off to each other right after. That's such a bullshit excuse. Just don't put cheap items on the WoW store. Put them in the trading post. Put them in the game. Keep the WoW store for the more expensive shit. But no, they had to do this.
Them from the store. You want 2 in your alliance house and 2 in your horde house? You need to buy 4.
Bobby Kotick saw this and was like, yeah, I might be gone, but my roots remain. That's right, deeper my roots. He's Nazoth. He corrupted them. He's like, my corruption remained. They destroyed me, but my corruption remained.
Of them from the store. And yeah, okay, that's how it works.
Bobby Kotick has read that blue post 36 times, for sure. He loves it.
When you buy non-store items in-game from vendors too, you buy every individual item you want to be able to use, and in that context, in the game, it makes total sense. But as a store purchase, what the actual are we thinking here? Like, imagine you buy a mount from the store, and then you have to buy it again for any alt that you want to be able to have it on their bars at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine you had to buy one individual copy of each transmog for every character that you wanted to equip it on at the same time. Now imagine that you see a plate that you want on the store, or a table, or I don't know, a cherry blossom tree, or a light fitting, and you're like, well, that's awesome. I think I'm going to buy that with my actual real money. But it's pointless just having one light fitting, right? I better buy, 4 at least, probably 6 to be safe. Actually, the last thing I want is to be decorating a room and find out that I actually need 10 and then I can't get any more because it's not in the store anymore. I better buy 10, which would feel like I was spending a surprising amount of money, but luckily it doesn't feel that way because
I wonder if the virtual currency also makes them non-refundable. That's another thing they do sometimes with virtual currencies. You can't refund them. So I wonder if you do buy 10 of these and you find out you only needed 8, you can't get a refund. Because right now, I mean, refunds are pretty easy, right? It's real money. Transaction sent back. Good. Purchased this by accident. Sorry. I did that once with a mount for Blizzard. Right? I purchased a mount and I wanted to gift it to somebody for a giveaway in stream, and I purchased it for myself. And I just, went through the refund process, said I accidentally did it for the wrong person. Bam, refunded. If I purchased with currency like this, might not be a refundable. Just saying.
Actually spending this currency, which doesn't hold the same immediate real-life value in my brain, which is a scientific fact, and literally why shitty currencies like this exist and are evil, though. And when I say imagine it, you don't have to imagine it, because that's what's happening. I think this sucks. If this goes live, having to buy each individual item multiple times from the shop with your money, though, then I will shit on this until the day I die. And you might be thinking, well, how else are they supposed to do it, Tally? And I would say, oh, I'm glad you asked. How about the most obvious way that literally 100 out of 100 people would have predicted housing decor on the store would work, that you buy the item once with your money, and then it either appears in your housing inventory to use forever in an unlimited way, like mounts and transmog, and in fact, literally anything else in this game, or you buy it from the store, and that then essentially unlocks the item on the neighborhood decor vendor, so you can buy
that would have been an
multiples
okay
of it
way to do it
for
too.
Gold as usual when you need it, like all the other decor. I mean, obviously that's how you would do it. This is exploitative and shitty and grimy and dirty. And honestly, it makes me suspect that Bobby Kotick never actually really left. They just keep him in a toilet somewhere, and every now and then,
didn't pre-watch again, but it's very obvious the Bobby Kotick
and
play
once
here.
a year, as a treat, they let him out to come up with a really shitty idea for the cash shop. And I cannot stress this enough.
Summon the goblin.
This, I don't like it.
Pre-watched.
It's bad. Let's be clear though. Here are the people that I do not blame for this shitty idea. I do not blame any of the housing devs, or indeed any of the devs. I don't blame anyone that has ever spent as much as an afternoon actually making World of Warcraft, actually creating a tangible piece in this video game. Because
Not
guaranteed,
true. I blame the artist. I do. Had he protested and not done it, and every artist from there on out refused to draw the coin, well, they probably just would have used AI for it, actually. Never mind.
This idea was shot out by someone that has never written
Never
a
mind,
line
we were
of code,
fucked either way.
never drawn concept art or made an in-game animation or painstakingly created an asset or composed music in their entire life. This is a decision made by someone who does not care about video games or the people who play them, who doesn't care about games being good or the long-term health of games, and fair enough, honestly, because that's not their job. Their job is to maximize profits for shareholders in the short term, and to that end, yeah, I think you probably will. Well done. That's the economic system we live under, and this isn't a political video, so we're not going to find any solutions here today, because frankly, the only solutions are political, and people don't like hearing that. Other people I do not blame. It's not your fault if you buy stuff from the store, either, because trying to lay the blame at the feet of players who just want to engage in their hobby and live their lives, trying to say that you, if you buy stuff from the shop, are the real problem, or the reason this shit happens, is just another way of copping out from actually facing the real reason this stuff happens.
That's true.
So I'm not grandstanding here when I say this, but I
don't hate on people who buy store mounts. You do whatever you want with your money. You're a fucking adult. You go to work every day and grind your stupid ass 9-to-5 job. You're allowed to spend it on a virtual bear that can transmog your shit for you. There's nothing wrong with that. I typically don't really do it, but I don't hate anyone who does. You spend your money however the hell you want.
I think I can, in good faith, engage with Decor on the store if it stays like this. Not even because of the cringe currency, but because of this terribly tone-deaf needing to buy multiples of the same store item thing. It's insane to me, and I implore Blizz to rethink it. And
I give away
maybe
store
you feel
mounts every year.
different, and that's
I don't really
okay.
have any.
I'm not trying to convince you of anything, I'm just giving my opinion. And you know what? Housing is still amazing. It's going to completely change the game forever in a good way. a mostly good way in December. I love it so much. I love what it's already done for the community, and that's why I'm maybe a little protective of it. Is that a fair way of putting it? But anyway, if you haven't already, let us know your opinion in the comments below. Maybe you'll even convince me and I'll change my mind. Who knows? Either way, thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, don't thank us, thank our patrons who give their actual real life money to make all of our work happen. And seriously, patrons, thank you, because without you, there would be a whole lot less Taliesin and Evertel. Ooh, full details about the T&E patron neighborhoods on EU and NA coming soon, I promise.
Nice video.
If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. Remember, my name is Marvel. No, my name is Taliesin from me and Evertel. Until next time, cheerio.
Yeah, nice video overall. I mean, we knew the monetization and housing was going to happen. I've been talking about it for a long time. The coin is what it is. It is what it is. They're doing it. They're going all in with it. And do I believe them that the currently thing is going to hold and this is going to be the only thing this coin is used for? No. It's going to expand. It's going to go on from there. We'll see what happens with it. Right now in Europe, they're fighting against virtual currencies, so we'll see what happens there with that legal battle too. Maybe it has an effect on this. But for now, this coin is coming. And yeah, you have to buy multiple of every item to get them in your store. Or in your house, I should say. Nice video from Taliesin and Evertel.